turn of the 20th century now, industrial revolution, ships get bigger, the shipping containers get bigger. I quickly realized this is a terrible idea for a port because it gives immediately onto a hill. It's in the middle of the city now, the city's developed around it, there's no major roads connected to it, no train lines connected to it. They abandoned the port. It's about 1911, 1912 now. They built a new port out in Botany, of course, called Botany, Sydney's major port. But this place, for the next 100 years, goes largely undeveloped. It's an abandoned shipyard for about 100 years. Which is crazy to think that a place in the centre of Sydney is known as prime real estate. It's just an empty port for 100 years, inaccessible to the public. Until 2006, Sydney Council decides, all right, enough's enough, we're going to do something with this land. So they create a wing of maritime history. These concrete pavers have been elongated to kind of reference the planks that they here, kind of redirecting focus from the land to the water.
That's why
the form of these copper drainage pipes have been designed to look like kind of heavily spun ropes kind of holding it to the arm. To your right,
pretty cool.
Tower number 1. It's the tallest tower of the 3, and the final tower is completed. And I think that's you guys, right? PwC?
Yeah, that's ours.
Right. You guys are going to share with guys like Marshall McLennan, Sir Paul, Nixon Street, and there also. So, breakfast and lunch, 5 days a week. That's also the moment where the only public restrooms are. So if you use the restroom after the tour, it's straight through there into the lobby.
Yeah. I got you on camera, Christina.
See the guys from the Wayne canteen here. We have live music every second day. Lend-Lease has stipulated a $40 million arts and culture budget for the area. So as well as live music every second day, there'll be short film screenings, talks, debates, and kind of a TEDx style to it. It's also going to house the highest concentration of public art anywhere in Sydney. 9 site-specific art installations, commissioned over the next 8 months. The full process, the upper process. This will take months.
Did you ask for his permission?
Whatever. It's a tour guide.
We'll just stop here in the sun again for a moment. Chat about these towers, give us a pretty good view. Now this tower is obviously one of the main kind of design features of Barangaroo South. And they're very special. They're some of the most environmentally conservative and sustainable towers in the Southern Hemisphere right now. Lend-Lease worked very closely with the environmental wing of City Council, as well as an international third-party panel. They've got a long name. They're called the C40 Climate Positive Development Program. Bit of a tongue twister, but basically what they are is a non-biased third-party panel that set down all these stipulations and guidelines for large-scale urban developments. Things like carbon neutrality, waste renewables, renewable energies, water conservation, things like that. And depending how well companies did against these stipulations, they credited the area a green star energy rating. This area is Barangaroo South, only one of 18 urban regenerations in the world is invited to take part in the program. Oh, first hand, right? Yeah, pretty good view. You got a date yet? There's the map. This is the tower has what's called a soft deadline. So like, you want to expand today.
No.
To your right, you have Rapcal Tea.
I've just read about it.
This, in my opinion, is the best coffee in the world. It doesn't really have it.
Is that part of your job to get to take out?
I feel it is, yeah. I feel it might be every croissant or every donut. It's a bit dangerous because, well, I mean, it's a bit dangerous because there's also a bar down the waterfront. So I'm trying to sample everything. It's my responsibility as a conscientious tour guide. This is dangerous also. Short Stop Donuts. They're out of Melbourne. And have a cult following. These donuts are insane.
This is one of Darren's.
Yeah.
They sell about 1,000 donuts a day. I think they're gluten free, but they may have a little bit of heroin in there. Something about them. And of course, then you have Birch Street Bakery. That was one of the first cafes to open up here. The second store, of course. First one down in there. Lovely pie, lovely sandwich.
Texting all the time, but you're expecting to go
That's okay, I don't know. I thought you might be catching It's a legitimate excuse, that's fine. You gotta catch him, you never know. So, welcome to Mercantile Walk. This laneway is one of the main pedestrian thoroughfares. Very cool transport works. Looking this way down to the waterfront, you can see there's that blue boarding up there. City Transport is doing 2 ferry terminals for us. That'll link straight up with the Sydney Grid. It's a $30 million project. It's taken them a little longer than expected because they have to use a process called piling, where you sort of drill down into the harbour bed to the foundations. It's obviously not the gas system down there, so government has legislated they can only do it 4 hours a day. They can only drill down for 4 hours a day, but they're still hoping to do that by the end of the year. Certainly by the time you guys come in February, that should definitely be done. Otherwise, Sydney Transport. Yeah, that links straight up with the Sydney Grid. So they'll be surfacing the Parramatta River and obviously man-made circuit here. That'll just link straight up. As you may know, there's already a ferry wharf, King Street Wharf. That's been decommissioned, so they don't have to upgrade their open facilities there. So that'll become a private kind of wharf, and these ferry terminals there will help you out with Sydney Transport. Heading back this way down towards the city, you can footbridge called the Sussex Street footbridge. Over the footbridge there, that'll connect up with, it's not finished yet, but when you go to the pedestrian tunnel called Winged Walk, that'll get you over straight to Winged Walk Station, less than 6 minutes, they're saying, on the full cover. That's obviously the main pedestrian thoroughfare from the area. In keeping with our sustainability guidelines, we're really trying to get home one way they achieve that is by putting no car park on the street. It's all loading zones and taxi zones. There is a car park downstairs, but very limited spaces. I can't stress that enough. There's 159 spaces for these apartments, which we'll chat about in a minute, and also a few extra spaces for these towers here, but the towers have 23,000 employees. It's definitely not 23,000 parks, I can guarantee that. What we do have downstairs, though, is about 2,000 bicycle parks. So if you can ride your bike to work, if you can, we want to give you every support to do that. So you can park your bike down on the parking lot. From there, you can get access to the base of Tower 1, your home building, which has end-of-trip facilities. So if you have an employee card, you can get access to the locker rooms, showers, towels. There's a wellness centre with a dedicated stretching room. You can get out of your linoleum there, the stretchy lycra. So riding, if you can do it, we want to give you really every single I'm looking at you. Right, here we go. Great, perfect. So this is probably a good time to chat about these apartment buildings. This guy on your right is called Anadara. That's the Latin scientific name for cockle shell, which is local in Sydney waters, another maritime reference point. That was designed by award-winning architect Richard Francis Jones. This guy behind me is called the Alexander, named after one of the ships of the First Fleet. That was designed by another award-winning architect. Sold out. Offset our program like that. Yeah. No, please interrupt any questions you have, just fire it up. Because I'm just going to keep ragging on. Also, down there next to the treatment plant is an air conditioning system that actually draws in salt water from the harbour and uses that as probably to the air conditioning systems. It's not the first system of its kind. The Opera House has the same system, as does the Victoria Bank building. Someone told me the Redfern Library has the same building as well, which I'm impressed they do. But ours obviously needs to be the largest of its kind to support this system. So what happens is salt water comes out of the top through special chemical parts. It doesn't alter the chemical composition of the water or whatever. It's cooled by a margin of 4 to 7 degrees. One lap through the system is warmed back up to room temperature and then is expelled back into the harbour. naturally one of the first people. So they went to the universities in Australia and said, we devise a way to get this gas out. And one of the professors in the universities developed this method called ISCU, in situ chemical oxidation. So basically what they do is they have to drill down, like a fine dentist drill down into these tanks. They pull it out, they build a big white tent and seal it airtight around this hole. You can see the tent next to the road, it's really wonderful. And then what they do is they put a kind of cover over it, sucks it up, makes it airtight, and then they pump pure oxygen down into the gas. It gets into the gas like molecules and renders it inert, kind of like freezes it, kills it, so it's not volatile. And then they suck all the oxygen back down, and then they can dig down and just like dig out this dead gas. Yeah, but I think it's amazing. It's incredibly expensive, and a set back in months as far as the deadlines go. But I kind of saw that and I thought, how did you know that?
Yeah, that's fantastic.
Like it's the gas works was there. Where did you so don't think so. Yeah. And the great difficulty is of course getting it out in its active state. We have a wellness centre here, a medical centre, just like medical scans, that's
Oh no, come on.
Sorry. Why am I saying sorry?
Welcome to the lobby of Tower 2. Lovely and warm in here. I always kind of feel like I'm walking into a hotel rather than an office. It's really lovely here. First thing you notice is these chandeliers actually use the same LED globes we have outside, so one globe lasts 11 years. And the designer made sure that we have these perspex visors that the light reflects and refracts through. So that even small design elements like that, we get the most amount of light with the minimum amount of electricity used there. So just give you some facts about these towers, and just tell me to stop if it gets a bit too dry. They were designed by a firm called Rogers Sturt Harbour. If they sound familiar, they designed a very famous building in London called the Lloyd's TSC building, which is often referred to as the inside out building, because all of the, if you've seen it, it's a bizarre building, all the pipes and the lift shafts from the outside of the glass. Very strange, yeah. This design obviously isn't that abstract. One of the things we borrowed from that though is that the lift shafts, which are conventional in the center of the building, with us on the outside. So if you look over at Tower 3, you see there's a glass facade that curves all the way around, a lovely fin system there, and then there's this big cement shaft on the outside. Those are the lift shafts. The reason we put them on the outside is because they provide a wonderful insulation from the sun to rise in the morning. So if you imagine the sun comes up in the morning, beats down on those lift shafts, which predominantly are just a big empty cylinder of air. The air within the lift shaft warms up, the inside of the building remains relatively cool. And then for the rest of the part of the day, the sun's working on those fin systems, kind of keeping the rest of the building cool. Architects in Australia are constantly trying to find new ways to cool our buildings down. One of the only countries that has this problem. Everyone else is trying to warm them up. It's trying to find ways to keep it cool. Yeah, how many tiles? Well, what do you reckon?
Trillion. Trillion billion.
8.4 million.
Oh, alright.
Which is enough for every man, woman, child in New South Wales to have one. Everyone's fine?
Jeez, alright.
I always love telling our story because it makes me think of the Spanish tiler that got the phone call.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you want some tiles? Yeah, how many? Oh, okay, sure, let me look out back. This Toby's estate in the corner there is worth turning out only because that was the very first vendor to open up on site. The fascinating thing about that is that consider what I mentioned earlier about this place being inaccessible for 100 years. It means that technically, the first cappuccino they sold to a construction worker was the first item of trade to change hands on this land in 100 years, which is great. I think it's great that it's coffee as well. We also have PwC over here, which is lovely smoothies and salads, and of course access to the canteen through here.
And they are not very helpful. I need to take my exit, so I will just hop there.
Sure, yeah. Head down there. There's drinking fountains there. Chilled or room temperature water if you like. Make sure you recycle the cup. Just on recycling, one of the great things about Lend Lease and having authority of the whole area that they do is that they can stipulate the recycling programs for all these vendors. And one of the things they set down from day one is that 100% of their takeaway material containers must be fully biodegradable.